Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching from. Welcome to our second episode of Talk Talent with Michael Goldberg. I am he, and it is so great to have you guys join the broadcast again. Obviously, you've probably seen me starting to pop up 2 to 3 times a week live, and I think there's a good benefit about that. And today I'm really excited because I've got an amazing guest. His given name is Scott, but he goes by Shalom Klein. And Shalom is a community leader and community engagement leader. He's got a radio show that airs at 6 p.m. on Sunday evening Central Time called Get Down to Business with Shalom Klein. But he's also got a podcast called We All Serve, which shows up on all your favorite podcasting applications. But he's got an incredible background. And so let's welcome Shalom Klein. And everybody say Shalom, Shalom Klein. I bet you've never heard that, Shalom, in your life, right?
Just a handful of times, Michael, and I smile every time.
Do you really?
I do. I really love it. And you could have a whole conversation with my name. You could say Shalom, which means hello. You could, of course, acknowledge my name. You could say goodbye. You could say peace. So, hey, it's all good.
So may I ask, is that something that you introduced, or in the Hebrew language, and I'm Jewish, but I might not know this, is Shalom also a part of Hebrew for Scott?
It's not. So I'll tell you a very personal story. And by the way, Michael, it's such a pleasure to be here with you and your amazing audience and listeners and viewers. So when I was a baby, as you said correctly, Michael, my given name is Scott. At my Brit Milah, I was given the name of Shalom as my Hebrew name. It's completely... you can have any Hebrew name. You could be called Moses. So you could be called anything, quite literally. But as a kid, I sort of skipped the stage of crawling, and I used to scoot across the room. So my mother said, look at Scooter, scoot across the room, and the name stuck. So I'd say until sometime in high school, my nickname was Scooter. So I was a man of many identities: Scott, Shalom, Scooter. And, Michael, as you get to know me a little bit better, who knows, you might get mad at me and you might call me some other names, but hey, it's all good.
Well, it's funny you say you could call me Moses. You could be given the name Moses. Care to guess what my middle name is?
My
Moses.
guess is it is Moses, meaning in Hebrew, that would be Moshe.
Menachem Mendel Moshe is my Hebrew given name. So there you go. Now we've both shared a little insight into our Hebrew.
Michael, we're both sharing a lot of personal stuff.
We're sharing
a lot of personal information here.
I don't know if you can. You're coming in a little low. I don't know if you can increase the volume on your phone. So I don't know if that can be done, but you're coming in just a wee bit low. So. And look, we've got Marwan saying, thank you for developing these video sessions. Marwan, you are so welcome. But then look, Jermaine Lafrere should meet me too. My family nickname is Scoot. Well, there you go. You're bringing the world together, Scooter. I actually like that name, but I like your Shalom name. I think so. Do you go by Shalom like when you introduce yourself as hi, I'm Shalom Klein?
Jermaine, I love it. I love it.
Absolutely. So thanks, Jermaine. We appreciate that.
Often I do. Michael, you know this, and I know we'll probably talk a little bit about it, but I am an Army Reserve officer as well. So my other identity is I go by Lieutenant. Absolutely.
Lieutenant Shalom or Lieutenant Scott? Did you hear me?
Either works.
Either works. Well, there you go.
Either way works. Hey, listen, call me anything. Just call me something nice.
Yeah, no, it's all good. So just a heads up, there's a little bit of a delay happening. So just FYI. All right. So let's kind of jump in. So what was that calling that you had um, to jump into We All Serve, because you are very community focused. So kind of walk us through your background and how you got there.
Absolutely. Well, Michael, I joined the Army at age 29, and I commissioned as a second lieutenant in the United States Army. I'm a military police officer, and really because I always have had a desire to in a greater capacity. Service is something that has always been near and dear to my heart, something that I've always prioritized. I serve as chairman of the Economic Development Commission back home in Skokie, Illinois. I've always been very community oriented, but I always felt that there's more that I can do. So we could talk more about it, but I commissioned as an officer in the Army, proud to serve. But especially in this era of COVID, I realized that it's not just people that put on the uniform, that's physical health, mental health, everybody knows somebody. And it is absolutely mission critical that we all serve, and that we all give back and help our communities. So that is where the idea for the show came up. We All Serve, and we are now in episode 31, and where I've interviewed folks that have put the military uniform, regardless of branch, on, and we have talked about lessons of leadership learned from service and how they've continued to serve even post-retirement.
What are some of those leadership lessons that you've learned in the military, outside the military? What are some of the key things that really stand out to you that have affected you to serve others both inside the military and outside?
It's a certain mindset and philosophy that everybody that puts on the uniform comes in with, is that you might come from your own respective backgrounds, but ultimately you're part of something bigger. You're part of representing your country, but making the world a better place. And that is something that I've seen from everybody that has put the uniform on. It's that in the Army, we call it the Army values. And it's an acronym for leadership: loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, the mission. In nonprofits, which I come from a nonprofit background, everybody that puts on the uniform follows those values. And I'm proud to do it. And I'm proud to always highlight people that I'm following their footsteps and learning from.
That's great. How, and I've asked the audience here, as you see in the question, how do you serve? How do you give back? Do let us know. Just put it in the comments from whichever platform you're watching from, whether it be Facebook or LinkedIn or YouTube or even Twitter/Periscope. So, and I think it's an important question. Let me ask you this. When you are looking to give back, and let's say outside the military, when you're looking at who you want to serve and provide to others, we all have our favorite types of organizations. What are some of your top favorites that you love to do?
I love the question, Michael. I have always been deeply involved in economic development and job creation in entrepreneurship. During the Obama administration, I served on several task forces for the White House, involved in, again, business jobs, entrepreneurship. In the state of Illinois, I've served for both Democrat and Republican administrations in some of those capacities on various task forces. In the village of Skokie, I served as the chairman of the Economic Development Commission. I founded an organization back in 2010 called Jewish B2B Networking. Despite the name not at all exclusively Jewish, but really based on Jewish values. That the highest form of charity is helping somebody earn their own livelihood. And very proud of that work, very involved in the Jewish community. And finally, as you keep hearing me say, regarding service, definitely very involved in veteran service organizations, helping military service members transition into the civilian sector and let them shine, show all of those great work skills, leadership to the civilian sector. So I'm very, very proud of my involvement in those areas. And honestly, that's something that I would recommend to everybody tuning in, that you step up and you serve. And I will manner, not for any purposes of benefiting from it. I will tell you, you will benefit. Givers gain, as they say. If you give and you serve, I promise you, you can take that to the bank, that it will come back full circle to you in your personal life, in your professional life, and doors will open.
Absolutely, 100% true. I like to, one of the things that when I was in the corporate, talent space, it was one of my passions. And while I didn't serve in the military, my father really wanted me. He thought I would do very well, but he taught me, because he went to the Citadel in Charleston, South Carolina, which now he only lasted a semester. So, but he served in the Army. He did serve in the Army. But having to walk the tours and do all that, just the awful stuff that you'd hear about, I'm sure it's not as bad now, or allegedly we're not hearing that stuff. But anyway, I got a sense for the military, having lived with him, in a good way. And so one of the things that I love to do, and that my outreach for military veterans has been trying to get in to help those that are coming out of the workforce, whether I was in corporate or even in today, I get calls from military folks that are looking to transition out, because I don't think that the TAPS program really prepares and does a thorough job of prepping exiting civilians how to, especially if they've been in the military since graduating high school, or maybe they went to one of the military academies and graduate, and all they've known is military, right? It's that's one of the joys that I get, because I can relate. And we used to do a lot of hiring of military folks, but we had to help them transition as a part of their initial training when they came on board to our company, was helping them transition and understand our industry, understand a lot of the corporate civilian speak, because all they knew was military speak. So I think it's fantastic that you do that. I know I love doing that. And there are plenty of other major companies that have a strong military hiring program outside of the defense contractor space. How does one get involved with helping military folks? Let's use that as an example. Transfer into civilian space. What are some things that the viewers could offer themselves to help? Did you hear the question? Are you there? Testing 1, 2, 3.
as well as the spotlight that you just put on the issue. And you're right that the military tries to develop its own program, but yes, Michael, and I know we have a lag. So yes, Michael, I don't know. I know we have a bad technical connection over here.
No, I can't hear you if you're saying something.
Okay. Well, I'm going to continue going over here, and I hope that this is coming through. You'd think in 2021, everything. I'm going to continue going, and I think it's, with 2021, hopefully our technology would be better. But yes, the United States Chamber of Commerce has a fantastic program it's called Hire Our Heroes, and they create those connections between the corporate world and the and the military world, and create that transition. So I highly recommend that folks step up and volunteer. There's always a need for coaches, mentors, folks.
And you have completely frozen on me. So don't know if that's me or if it's you. I'm going to guess that, yep, and we lost him. But that's all right. He'll come back on. So so let us know in the comments, how do you serve? What are some of the things that you do to give back to the community, whether it's in the military? Let me know in the comments. I know we've still got a few people watching. I think because when you have a bad connection, you tend to lose people. So it's a shame. So let's see if we can get him back here. Hey,
can you hear me?
I can hear you. Just wish the connection was just
Sorry,
a little bit
now
better.
I can't hear you.
Yeah, I think it's a poor connection, but there are a lot of opportunities out there to give back. One is there are plenty of people that need food, and giving back donations, things of that nature. There are ways that that you can, now that with all this technology that we have, you can give back by connecting with someone on Zoom or connecting with someone on the phone and just letting them know that you're there and that you care for them and that you're just checking in on them, because there's a lot of those people in need right now. So I think we've got Shalom back. Are you back? Can you hear me?
I am. I hope that's better. Strangest connection.
Yeah. Okay. Now you're actually coming in a little bit better. So let's keep going. So basically what I was telling the audience while waiting for you to come back was that there are so many ways that you can give back, whether you're in the military or not, right? And it's really going out and whether it's checking on people, serving in food lines, but there's a lot of volunteer working at a food bank and bagging lunches or bagging meals for kids, like at the North Texas Food Bank here in Dallas. That's a big thing. I'm sure that in Chicago there are similar food banks. But what as a result, where we want to get out, but yet we want to be careful. Shalom, what are some of the things that people can be doing? Because I don't know if Habitat for Humanity is up and running, where you're building houses, but what are some of the charities that are being affected where they're used to having face-to-face volunteer time, where they really can't right now? And what are some things they can be doing?
Well, there's so many that have been affected. Everybody, as I was saying earlier, and I apologize to your audience for the connection, strangest thing over here. But everybody's been affected in some way. Physical health, mental health, employment, on some level. Honestly, go back to the basics. Go back to the basics. Pick up the phone and call friends. Check in on them, on their mental health. Say hello. Let people know that you're thinking about them. Check on the elderly. Check on your family. Show that you care. That is the basics. I hate the term social distancing. I hate it. It's all about physical distancing, and we do need to do that. We do need to practice safety. 6 feet, wash your hands, wear a mask, all that good stuff. But that, honestly, take COVID as a silver lining. We now have technology, which today might not be working as well as it should. But we have technology that allows us to stay connected with friends and family. Do that. That is, as we would say in Hebrew, that is a mitzvah. That is a good deed. That's something positive you could be doing.
Yeah, you definitely get some good check marks in the big persons in the sky, right? So, it's what's also interesting is that within companies, even going, talk about basics. Pick up the phone and call your clients. If you're in human resources or you're in recruiting, call and check on your employees. There's an idea. And I know companies that are doing that and that have retained some of their HR staff without having to cut them, because that's what they do. They call and check in on their employees and their mental well-being, because they are working remote. So, and Jermaine, who's been sticking us out, even though through technical difficulties, I love this. Food delivery for seniors living in food deserts throughout Chicago. No direct contact right now. So I think it's a national organization. Here in Dallas, we call it Meals on Wheels. Do y'all have Meals on Wheels there?
We do. Meals on Wheels is big. They're awesome, and so many volunteer opportunities. I love that you highlighted them. Right,
and so I'm wondering, Jermaine, is for those seniors, is Meals on Wheels addressed? They have to be, I would think. Because the seniors can't get out, they can't drive, right? They're unable to drive, period, or they don't want to drive. So certainly in Chicago, and I think in the food deserts, and I used to work for the American Heart Association, so I completely understand what you mean. For those that don't understand, a food desert is if you live in a underserved neighborhood that doesn't have a grocery store, doesn't have fresh vegetables, fresh fruits, good meats, chicken, fish, where they can shop, right? All that's around them are McDonald's, the Burger Kings, the stuff that's not good for you, which all leads to increased heart disease and stroke. So for those that, if you know of a senior living in a food desert, or you want to research folks that need that help, I'm sure there's a way where you could take a box of food and you could leave it on their front door, and then they're notified some way that someone is leaving food on your doorstep at between 12 and 1. Be looking for that box of food or that package of food. I think we have to give back, because people like you, me, Jermaine, Ora, who has joined us, Robasong, and Marwan, just even if it's delivering one meal to somebody, it goes such a long way. Wouldn't you agree?
So important. It starts with the basics. Do one meal, make one phone call, help one person, and you will be literally changing the world. In the Army, we have a thing that we always say, that in every assignment, your goal is to leave the organization a little bit better than the way you found it. Think about the world that way. If everybody would follow that mindset, leave your community a little bit better than how you found it, and you'll be doing something awesome. And again, that is the silver lining of COVID. People have had the ability to take a little step back and give some thoughts to what, have a little bit of extra time, maybe the time that you might have been driving to work in the past, and use that time wisely. Take care of your family, take care of yourself, but yes, take care of community as well.
And I would also say for the job seekers that are out there, a lot of job seekers tend to think, well, I need to focus on my job search for 40 hours a week. It's okay to take a Friday afternoon off and volunteer, whether it's standing outside to load food into cars, or going to work at a food bank, or delivering food to the underserved. But that's how you can meet people, and that's how you can create your network and expand your network, which could lead to a potential opportunity. You never know who you're standing next to or serving the food with. Go work in a food shelter. And I know that's like, oh no, I don't. It's okay. You wear a mask. You wear a mask, and you wear a face shield. You wear gloves. You're going to be fine. But yes, I agree. You want to protect yourself. And I'm very much about quarantining and not getting out that much. And I only go to the grocery store if I have to, but I'm leaning more back on the delivery services because it's just so rampant right now. Here in Texas, I know Illinois is bad, California, all over. I mean, everywhere's bad. I mean, there's no. So, but just take a moment to give back, and the feeling that you get after doing something for another person, Shalom, just you come back kind of bowed up and feeling pretty proud. And you just feel good inside. And that's what we need to feel more often. What are your thoughts?
It's good for yourself. And I love what you said a moment ago, which is what I was saying. Let's say you like puppies. I like puppies. I don't know about you, Michael. I like puppies. And you, okay, there you go. So by volunteering with the Humane Society, you will meet sort of things. And you will find that you will connect with people and find ways to work together. Givers gain. It absolutely works.
So what's your favorite kind of breed of dog?
Well, Buddy, I'm sure my buddy is going to be listening to this, so I will remain loyal to him. Buddy is a golden doodle. He's the best. Buddy is the best.
How old is Buddy? Yep. Here come our technical issues again. Sorry, how old? 5?
5 years old.
Got it. So yeah, I've got a Bichon Frise. Of course, these were all wife picked. I'd have a golden doodle in a heartbeat. And then we adopted. He's pure breed, but then we adopted a German Shepherd Terrier mix, and she is just the cutest thing in the world. She's 3. My Bichon's 13. Dogs are good therapy, and I know that my mother, after my father had passed, she was looking to go volunteer and be with puppies because it's good therapy, right? And but I think that's a great idea. I don't know, are those shelters accepting volunteers and taking volunteers, or is it pretty restricted?
I think they are taking volunteers, very restricted list. You can't just pop in and just say like, hey, I'm available, but you've got to be on the list and pre-vetted. And but I've definitely seen some in the Chicago area that are.
And look at Jermaine here. You're very helpful to seniors, but the organizations that she volunteers for, I love this. This should be your tagline on your LinkedIn profile. My block, my hood, my city, and my church. I love it, Jermaine. Love it.
It's an awesome organization in Chicago. My block, my hood, my city.
That's
amazing organization. The young man that runs it. And it's an awesome individual that runs it. Truly an inspiration.
Who runs it?
Blanking on his name. Jermaine can probably comment on that. I'm blanking on his name. I think he ran for mayor of the city of Chicago, and he's just truly an inspiration, and he's shaken things up because he talks about how people talk about their block, their hood, and their city. And he's focused on that transformation in each of those categories.
Well, I love that. I think it could also be a good tagline, actually. So a good headline for your LinkedIn profile, right? Doesn't tell me what you do, but it shows that you have pride in your city, and I think that is super, super important to especially with what we got going on now between crazy town Washington D.C. No disrespect, and Black Lives Matter. It's we need this feel good. We need this feel good in a bad way. So here, Jermaine answered us. Jamal Cole. So I'll definitely, even though I'm in Dallas, look to see how I can serve and help remotely, whether it's by giving or donating time here. And I don't know if that is it just a Chicago based or is it a national organization? Do you know?
I believe it's just Chicago now, but really the message is resonating. I've heard of offshoots, but I know their primary work is in Chicago, and Lord knows that Chicago can use some help.
Yes, it can. Yes, it can. So we're going to wrap up here. So how can people connect with you? What's the best way for people to connect with you?
Sure. My website is shalomklein.com. You're putting some information up there on the screen. SHALOM. That's where people can find out about the show. Michael, you're going to be on it, which is exciting. And
oops. So here's how to connect with Shalom Klein. You can catch him on LinkedIn. He's got his radio show, which airs on AM 560, The Answer. It's freelance radio. It's real radio in Chicago. So you can catch him on AM 560, 6 p.m. Central Time on the broadcast. And so it's called Get Down to Business with Shalom Klein. Check him out. Again, you can also listen to We All Serve on the podcast. And I wish you all a fantastic weekend. And get out there and do something for somebody else this weekend. Make it your mission. Jermaine, thank you so much. You really brightened my day for popping on. I don't think we've had the opportunity to talk, but thank you so much for providing all this great information. And for folks that watched, thanks very much. But I challenge you to get out there and serve this weekend, no matter how cold or how hot, rain, snow, whatever. Be safe, though. Wear a mask and help somebody. Just help one person. That's all you got to do. And the world will spin, and it's a great place. So take care. Have a good weekend. I'm sorry we couldn't say shalom to shalom. But thank you for being a guest. I'm sorry you had technical difficulties. And be well, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.